All right, so you're thinking about getting a Tesla. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to save all this money on gas and it's super efficient and all those things. Well, I'm here to tell you that you might not be saving as much as you think. Now, yes, there are some things that you'll save on and we'll talk about those. But might be a little more. You might pay a little more for other things than you do, let's say, charging. So let's get into it, okay? All right, hi, my name is Robin. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going over some hidden costs or secret costs nobody tells you about owning a Tesla. Whoops, I went the wrong way there. So the first thing, I'm on a walk here, my watch just went off. So the first thing is tires. Your tires on an EV, especially a Tesla, are going to wear out much more faster than they do on non-EV cars. And really, it's just because EVs weigh a lot. The batteries are heavy and they sit low in the car, so they weigh more, put more pressure on the tires, and so they wear out quicker. I'm at 37,000 miles in my car, and I took it into the shop I used to take it into to get a tire rotation, and they said they wouldn't do it anymore because the tires were worn too much. They said it was unsafe. So we went back and forth for a couple minutes. And then I ended up taking it across the street to Les Schwab, and they said, oh, we can still, it was a manager, and he said we can still rotate them, but you're gonna need to get them replaced within 10,000 miles. So I thought that was fair. He did it. So I'm looking at maybe, getting them to hopefully 45,000, which isn't too bad, but it's something to consider if you are thinking about owning any EV. Now, there's ways to mitigate that. I have a friend who drives ultra conservative, and he got 50,000 miles out of his set of tires on his Model Y. I drive pretty conservative, but I do sometimes take off fast from lights, or I drive faster on corners, and mainly because it's fun. It's a blast to drive Teslas. If you're going to buy a Tesla, some of it is because it's a quick car and it handles really well. So if you're never going to drive it fast, I don't know if I don't think I would buy a Tesla. So those are that's something to consider, right? And the other thing about tires is the tires are going to cost you more. EV tires in general are more expensive than tires you put on an ICE car because the compound is supposedly better, and they handle better, and blah, blah, blah. So that's something to consider. The second thing is charging versus paying for gas. Charging at home every night when you pull in your garage and you plug in is definitely cheaper than going out and buying gas. Especially now, the way gas is, it's depending on where you live and you're watching this, could be $6 a gallon. So it is cheaper, and the convenience of just pulling out of your driveway or garage in the morning and having a full tank of gas is great. You have to factor that in. But sometimes you're going to go on trips, and if the economy improves, gas goes down, then the savings for EVs are not as big. And you got to consider when you go on trips, you're going to hit superchargers, which are convenient and they're great. You can't take long trips in Teslas without them. But those are expensive as well, depending on what time you use them. If you're hitting them at like 4 in the morning, they're cheap. But if you're hitting them at noon, on the way to a popular destination, then they can get expensive, 50 cents a kilowatt, even higher. So you're not saving as much gas as you think, gas versus charging as you think. So it's something, again, to consider and think about. You'll save probably hundreds of dollars, but I don't know if you're going to save thousands. One way you will save a lot is if you own the car for a long time. It's kind of like owning solar in California. If you're putting solar on your home, like your return on investment, it's a huge horizon. It's like 10, 15 years. And then you start coming out ahead because you have to pay for the solar. So anyway, that's factor number 2 you got to think about. The third one is insurance. Anywhere you go for insurance, and it doesn't matter if you have a perfect driving record and you're not in an age category that's high risk like myself. I'm 55. They're just more to insure because when EVs in general and specifically Teslas get into any kind of accident, even if they're small accidents and there's not a lot of damage, they just tend to total the car. If you go on Facebook Marketplace or like Auto Trader or Auto Tempest, you'll find recent model Teslas that the price seems to be too good, right? Only 24,000 miles and it's only this much money and it's 2024. But if you look at the description, it says salvage title. So that car had those types of cars were in like a small or low speed accident, and the owner got it fixed, but the person who owned the loan, the car company that owned it, or the insurance company, just totaled the car because it was more expensive to fix than get a new car. So that's why rates are so high right now, or they've always been high for EVs. So you have to factor that in. You're going to pay more per month to drive a Tesla than you would a different or an ICE car that's the same type of car as the Model Y. So what did we cover? We covered tires, charging, insurance. Those are probably the biggest 3. Ooh, sorry about that. I was having some filming issues. Okay, let's talk about the 4th and final factor. It is depreciation. Like EVs depreciate even faster than ICE cars because nobody generally wants to buy a used EV because they're so worried about the battery. Just like I was before I bought my 2024. I wanted something new. I wanted the latest technology. Wanted the improvements to the cabin with the reduced road noise and all those factors. So it's just something to consider. Your car won't be won't be worth as much if you sell it within the first 3 to 5 years. If you hold on to it for a long time, it'll be great. No worries, and it's not going to matter how much it is because you're going to own it for years and years. But something to consider. Okay, so we went over 4 things. We went over what? Tires, charging, depreciation, and insurance. So some of those things you're going to come out ahead, save some money, and some you're not. I think overall you probably come out about even. Just remember that you're probably not going to save as much money owning a Tesla as they want you to think. Now, would I still recommend the car? Absolutely. It's a great car. One thing that has been phenomenal is I have had no maintenance issues. I've had some fit and finish issues when I first bought it, some of the alignment, but I brought it in right away and they fixed it. So that's definitely something most people are going to save money on for sure. Got to get across the street quickly here. So again, take those things into consideration before you buy one. Thank you for tuning in. If you own a Tesla, leave me some comments. If you want to buy one, let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about or share with you about ownership. All right, until next time.